Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. So we did a Snapchat exclusive video the other day on why research sites need to be more patient when they're getting studies and applying for studies. And just go check it out. Also follow me on Snapchat if you haven't. Username is Dan Sfera, just like you see up here, but it's one word. So today I'm interviewing Chris. He is CS to my DS. Some people find that funny.
I find that funny.
Yes. Hello, Kim. So, Chris, yesterday we just touched on the surface of this. When your site applies for a trial and they're awarded the trial, but then in the middle of negotiating contracts and budgets, through no fault of your own, you're now relegated to a backup site. This can happen, right? Sites need to understand nothing in this business is guaranteed. Here's a fact, okay? If you get a study and you start screening and you start enrolling, guess what? Sponsor can end the trial at any time, right? They can end it tomorrow.
Happens often.
It does happen often, and with risk-based monitoring being implemented, it's only going to happen more often. But this is not that situation. This actually happened before we ever started screening subjects. We're actually negotiating the budget. So the site got accepted for the study, but now they're being made to be an add-on site. And explain what an add-on site is for those of the audience members watching.
So an add-on site is when the study is already ongoing, and for whatever reason, one of the standard reasons would be that the sites that they currently have are having difficulty enrolling the anticipated numbers or the numbers they were expecting in a certain time frame. In order to accomplish that time frame, they add more sites so that hopefully they can enroll more patients to meet their timeline. Essentially.
Okay, so what happened in this situation? We got the study, and then they said, well, we want you to be a backup site instead.
So the sponsor came back to the CRO and said, hey, we noticed that you have many sites in both Florida and California, and we're not comfortable with this. You have too many sites in these two states. And the way the representative from the CRO explained it to myself was that this is a foreign sponsor, who will remain nameless, and they're not familiar with, again, this is how the CRO explained it, they're not familiar with the geography and the populace of the country.
And so the dynamics.
Right, so they more expected it to be equally divided among the states opposed to which states are most populated.
They don't understand that this particular therapeutic indication or medical condition occurs most frequently on the two coasts, right? Mm-hmm. They don't understand this.
Well, I don't know if it so much as occurs there, but that seems to be where those with mental illness migrate for whatever reason.
Okay, yeah, right. They migrate towards the coast. So it's hard to express this to the sponsor. So the sponsor just does the cookie cutter approach and says, no, we have too many sites in Southern California. So the sites that you selected, you need to choose 2 of them to be backup sites, and we were one of the unlucky ones, right?
And the way the CRO explained it was they're aware that in order to meet their timelines and enroll the patients they're looking for, that it would behoove them to use more sites on the coast, yet they wanted to, I'm kind of just yammering on here. So what the CRO said, well, how about if we just get rid of 5 sites? Because they wanted to eliminate 5 sites. They said, well, how about we remove 5 sites from the middle of the country where there's less significant populace with schizophrenia. It was a schizophrenic study. And the sponsor said, no, we specifically want sites removed from Florida and California. So the CRO is aware of how things work, but the sponsor is not.
But the silver lining is you had a conversation with the CRO, and they told you what?
Well, that we should probably be an add-on site within no more than a month or two.
So they're
Because-
expecting some of the sites that are not add-on sites to drop out or to be, I guess, terminated due to non-enrollment, right?
Non-enrollment, and it's a difficult study, not just for enrollment purposes, but conducting a trial. There's a lot of rating scales, and they think a few sites will drop out just specifically because they won't have the staff to accomplish the study.
And they said specifically within a few months,
A couple of months.
a couple months. And the other silver lining is now, because we don't get to go to this investigator meeting, when we are added as a real site and not an add-on site, or as a backup site, we get to go to either Europe for the investigator meeting or somewhere in South America, right?
Right.
So I'm going to this. I'm going.
You're going, are you?
Especially if it's in Brazil or anywhere else exotic.
Yeah, they might have to find room for about 10 of us.
Yep. All right. So take-home message for the sites: don't freak out if you've been designated as a backup site. It's not the end of the world. The best thing you can do is call the project manager. Is that who you talk to? The project manager?
Yes.
Okay. Talk to the project manager. Let them know that. Well, first of all, try to get the backup status removed. And if they can't, then let them know, hey, we have no doubt we can enroll patients. So the first opportunity you have of a site dropping out, we want to be number one on that list.
A backup is better than a no. A maybe is better than a no.
A maybe is better than a no, and you have to call the project manager and express and communicate the fact that you're confident in enrolling so that you move up on that short list to number one or number two backups. You don't want to be backup number 5. You might have to wait a few more months.
Correct.
Thank you, Chris.
This also just serves to back up what you had mentioned yesterday. You always have to be looking for more studies. You don't know what's going to happen. You never
Always,
know.
always. We do consulting for sites all the time. 949-415-6256. Call or text. Thanks, Chris. Thank you guys for watching. Dan and Chris from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.